Hello everybody, this is the first video for my EVO build. It's a little bit different than, or it's very different than any of the other videos I've done so far, or any of the other builds. I normally do these UTVs and things, but this is a project that I've kind of been looking forward to. I've had this car for maybe 6 months or so, and I kind of drove it around a little bit just in the condition that I got it. And I did not do a bunch of photos or walk around of it when I got it. So the story behind this car is my store manager for a company that we have, my audio video company. We do home audio video stuff. My store manager, his name's Kurt. He bought this new. It's a 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 GSR. If you're familiar with EVOs, EVO is what we call it for short, of course, because it's cool. This is the first year model of the EVO 10. And so it's basically, he had it garage kept for most of the time when he had it. Towards the end of its lifespan with him, he parked it outside some, and then at work it's parked outside all day long, not undercover as well. So whenever I bought it from him, I'll show you a picture. I have one photograph of whenever I got it from him. A lot of the top flat surfaces were faded, and also it had some hail damage. So and then there was a rear quarter panel, not bad, but like this back here just had a little bit of a crunch on it. He got hit by a truck. Wasn't his fault, but a damn truck turned into him and broke it. So he wanted something new, something fresher. He doesn't have much miles on it. It only had like 38,000 miles whenever I bought it from him for a 2008 model, and that he sold me in 2021. That's way below normal mileage, but it has been kept mechanically perfect as far as I'm concerned. It just had some hail damage and had some faded paint and a little bit of body damage. So I just got it out of the body shop. I put it in a shop called Paint Doctor that's local here in my town of Lubbock, Texas. And they just kind of did a basically PDR, paintless dent repair, to push out all the hail dents. And then they had to do a little bit of body filler and paint work and metal work back here to get this rear quarter panel looking new, but it looks great. They're really good at their job. I'm excited. So what I did is I had them leave these hood inserts and the front lights and stuff like that out because it's going to get wrapped now. I'm going to send it off to get wrapped. It's going to be a silver color that's kind of a eggshell, or I guess they call it satin sheen. So it's not going to be glossy, but it's not going to be flat. It's going to have a little bit of sheen to it, but I think it's going to accent these lines. You know, the EVO X has these cool body lines that are kind of hard, kind of rigid for a factory car. So I'm excited to see how those lines look with a satin silver that's still metallic. So I think it's going to be kind of cool. So it's going to get wrapped. They're going to debadge it, or I might actually take these badges off first, but no badges. And then we might do some decals for like the Mitsubishi logo, as well as like the newer models of the EVO 10 have a larger badge across the bottom that says Evolution, and then it has an X at the end. So I might do something like that, but just with decals. I'm not going to do it with badging, I don't think. I like a smoother look personally. So Kurt had a few mods on it. I'm not really going to change any of that stuff for now, at least not until if and when I build the motor or something like that. But I'm going to leave the power mods how it is. It's pretty clean. Let me show you under the hood. So GSR means it's a manual, and since it is the first year model of the EVO 10, the interior is relatively bland. It has this old orange dash cluster display and a just bare bones basic radio. It does have a CD player, but it doesn't even have like Bluetooth or an auxiliary input or backup camera, anything that we expect out of a modern vehicle. So Kurt did some, you know, what I would consider tasteful bolt-on mods. Essentially, you know, intake, tune, blow-off valve. He did upgrade the intercooler, and the biggest thing he did is the transmission is like full awesome. It's got it was disassembled and had internal, I believe the gears are changed as well. I think they're actually higher gears, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they're low, I can't remember. And then all the gearing was like polished and very well refined transmission. And from what I understand, that's a kind of a known mod or weak point on these cars. So if you don't know, the Evolution is a upgraded model of the Mitsubishi Lancer, and the Lancer is really nothing more than a rental car. It's a compact four-door sedan, front-wheel drive. But the Evolution model is all-wheel drive, turbocharged. And it's just a blast to drive. I love these cars. I've always loved these cars. It reminds me of a good friend of mine I had named John. He had in the mid-90s, we were kids then, and he had a turbo Talon. So that was officially called well, not officially, but those were called DSMs. That stands for Diamond Star Motors. And that was when there was like a partnership between Mitsubishi, and their logo is kind of 3 diamonds. And then also Chrysler, which Chrysler in that time had like a pentagon shaped star in their logo. So I think that's where DSM, Diamond Star Motors, is kind of nicknamed, if you will. And so those cars, so the Mitsubishi Eclipse of the mid-90s and the Eagle Talon of the mid-90s were basically the same car, just different badging. I think most of the body was the same. The packages were also very similar. So like the Eclipse TSI was a front-wheel drive turbo car, and then the Eclipse I forget the acronym, but they had some other name for the all-wheel drive turbo car. And then the Talon was also available in a TSI. You know, I think I had that wrong. I can't remember what the Eclipse's names were, but the Talon that John had was all-wheel drive turbo, and it was called a Talon TSI, and it was just a missile. I loved the car. His was in a pretty cool color, and John has passed away now, so it's a little bit sentimental for me to think about, you know, the times we had and things like that. So it's cool, and this car always reminds me of it. Even though it's not technically a DSM, I still feel like this is kind of Mitsubishi's bloodline still for the turbo all-wheel drive cars. So it's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to doing some stuff, some builds with it. Kurt gave me the stock parts. Of course, he's extremely particular about all the things. So he has documents, and he has I think it's a little handheld tuner. I don't know the name of it. And like there's the stock intercooler and intake, and even the factory catalytic converter, I think, because he has a catback system on it, transmission work, intake, intercooler, blow-off valve, and then the tune, I think, to match all that. I believe it is factory turbo, and I believe it is all factory internal engine. So I'm not sure what the next step or two is. I'm interested in more power. I would love about a 500 horsepower all-wheel drive street car out of this thing. I think that would be a blast. From what I understand, that is obtainable, but it might just be too expensive to put into this car. I don't know. I've heard, I got a quote from one guy for a $40,000 build. And that was supposed to be about 550, 600 horsepower, something like that. Now that is to the wheels, so that's a big jump from where it's at. I believe it's somewhere about 300 to the wheels right now. It might be a little less than that to the wheels because all-wheel drive cars have more drivetrain loss, but I'm not sure. I've joined a couple of Facebook groups. One of them is, anyways, it's like for Evolution 10 owners and enthusiasts, and it's a Facebook group and I asked about a handful of mods. So I can upgrade that gauge cluster. I believe I can upgrade the radio, the factory cars from, like, I think they built this car until 2015, and they ended up, you know, being an option with touchscreen infotainment system, and of course the upgraded gauge cluster that has like a color screen on it. Some things like that I'd be interested in doing, just to kind of update it a little bit. But also on that forum or on that Facebook page, there was a salesperson, I think, or he works at DSG Performance, and they're actually in Canada, but they specialize in the Mitsubishi Evolution. And so I ordered a bunch of parts from them. I got these cool wheels. They are called Rays, which apparently is a pretty well-respected wheel manufacturer. I'll get these down and open up the box and show you here in a little bit. And I got 4-wheel rotors. These are slotted rotors, front and rear, for the brakes. The brakes on this car are super squeaky right now, so I'm gonna upgrade those. Got some suspension parts, and coilovers are on the way. They are custom built to order. These are anti-sway bars. I think those are control arms, and then some upgraded brake pads, I guess is all it is. So what I'm gonna do is get this car wrapped, bring it back here. I got some aftermarket headlights and tail lights there as well. I'm gonna do a video just on the lights and a video just on the wheels and tires and stuff like that later. But I'll probably do a video just on the brakes and then another video just on the suspension. So I hope to do all that work myself. The only thing I'm not gonna do is like internal engine work. So I will kind of be looking for a shop over the next few months to do that. In the meantime, I'm just having a blast driving this car. It's fun. So this is just kind of the intro for this car and this build. I'm gonna have a playlist just for the Evolution 10, or the EVO X is kind of the nickname. And really looking forward to it. I hope it'll be a fun project for us. Thanks for watching. Bye.